this episode of Cali and Craig Talk. I'm Cali.
And I'm Craig.
And today we are making meatloaf.
Yeah, in our air fryers.
Yeah, because Craig's bestie bought him a new air fryer for his birthday. And so
Yes.
I'm trying to show him that everything can be cooked in the air fryer.
Yes, I am looking forward to this experiment.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Neither of us has cooked meatloaf, and wait, I don't know if I've ever cooked meatloaf. If I have, I know we talked about this, but if I'm
Yep.
being totally honest, I don't know if I have, it's been at least 15 years. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah. For me, it was grade 7 home ec.
Oh my
So that
God.
was, I would have been what, 13? So that was almost 30 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I think a really long time ago. My only memories of meatloaf really are of my mom cooking it, and it was terrible. It was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was super dry all the time. But you know what's funny is as you get older, like your tastes change. So I'm curious to see if I'll like it now, like as an
Yep.
adult, but also like keep in mind, she was cooking for a diabetic, so everything had like less in it. And I didn't realize that
Mm.
until I was an adult. So like there was a ton of food that I used to eat as a kid that I hated. And then I grew up and I was like, oh, we can add sugar to this. We can add salt to this. Like we can add all kinds of stuff. And then I found out I like lots of food, which probably made it
Oh,
worse for me.
good. Yeah. But yeah, like your taste buds do change. Because I mean, I used to hate Brussels sprouts, but now like I love Brussels sprouts. I make a mean Brussels sprout.
I know. We've talked about it before on the podcast. I want to try those Brussels sprouts because you said you can make Brussels sprouts haters into Brussels sprouts lovers. I think that was one
Yeah.
of the first episodes, right? Was that during
Oh,
Two Truths and
probably.
a Lie? I think it was Two
Oh,
Truths
yes,
and a
yes.
Lie. Yeah.
And I
Oh,
bet
that was,
you with
yeah. Mhm.
with the way that I do Brussels sprouts, you could do it in the air fryer because you want to get them like nice and really crispy and kind of singed on the edges, and air fryer would be perfect.
Well, that'll be the next experiment. Maybe we'll add Brussels sprouts as a side or something. We'll do that. And they have to turn better on the pancakes that we made. Those Japanese pancakes,
Yes.
we didn't even post that. That was a
Yeah,
disaster. Those pancakes. But at least
it
yours
was.
looked like pancakes. Mine did not look like pancakes. Mine looked like I don't even know. It was terrible. All right, but we're also hungry, so we're gonna try and see how
Yeah.
quickly we can get through this recipe. So let's see, what do we need for this, Craig? Let's pull up the ingredients. Where
Yeah.
is it? So we need, oh, and we're using a recipe from, what's this called? It was on Pinterest. What's the name of this company?
It's spend with pennies.
Ooh, well, I love spending with pennies, but this didn't cost
Yeah.
me pennies though. I gotta be
No, no, no,
honest.
no. I bought two ingredients. It cost almost $20.
Yeah, it did not cost me pennies. Actually, like when the total came up, like usually you know how I am, how I really look. But like when the total came up, I was like, oh, okay, this is an expensive meal.
Yep.
It was funny. So hopefully this recipe is good, but we needed, all right, so we need for this recipe, we need ground beef, green bell pepper, breadcrumbs, onion, milk, which Craig does not have, right, Craig?
I'll double check, but I don't think so.
Okay, and then we have Parmesan cheese that's grated, fresh parsley chopped, garlic minced, eggs, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Oh, and then we have tomato sauce and chili sauce, which I am going to be using sriracha because could not find the other one and do not know the difference. So that's where we're at.
So, in your defense, I've never had sriracha and I've never had this like other type of chili sauce. So I don't know the difference either, other than what's inside of it.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what happens. So we're actually going to be making like the same recipe, but a little different because yours is going to have butter and actual chili sauce, and mine's going to have milk and sriracha sauce. So we'll
Yep.
see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. So Craig, what is the first thing that we need to do?
Yeah, so we're going to be mixing all the meatloaf ingredients in a big bowl. So I guess I need to pull out a big bowl.
Yeah, I have a big bowl ready. And we have to
Oh,
preheat the air fryer to 350. Now, this is interesting to me because I've never preheated my air fryer. Like
Oh,
I've been using air fryers for years and like 3 years, and I've never preheated one. I thought that was the whole thing, was that I didn't need to preheat the air fryer because it gets like the temperature turns that way like immediately. I'm
yeah. So
interested.
in the quick start guide with mine,
Mhm.
it says to
Yeah.
preheat for 3 minutes, but I don't feel like preheating it right now because at the pace we move, it's going to be like 15, 20 minutes to
Okay.
put this all together. So we can preheat later.
I didn't feel like doing that either. That definitely
Mhm,
wasn't a beep from mine.
mhm.
I turned it off. Okay, so we're gonna mix all the ingredients in a large bowl. All right.
Yep.
Wait, Craig,
So,
that means we
yep.
gotta chop all the stuff up.
Yeah, I know. I know. So I'm going to dump the meat in first. It's like a pound.
Yeah.
Like I am mystified looking at this because this is a pound of meat. I eat quarter pounders at McDonald's, and so they're trying to tell me that there is that much ground beef in one burger at McDonald's. That doesn't seem right.
I don't know. I told you not to eat that stuff. I don't know. That's a well, how you think wait, you think it looks bigger or smaller, the quarter pounder?
Smaller. Like it does not look like this is more meat than
That's a lot
four
of meat.
burgers.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
lot of meat. Yeah. I've seen it. Okay. Stop. I told myself I would get through this episode without any dirty references. I was like, just for once, make it through one cooking episode. I don't think we can do it. Okay. Half a green bell pepper, finely diced. Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So your stuff is not diced, right? And I really
Uh,
normally I don't wish that we had video, Craig, but I do know how quick you cut so much faster than me.
so my green bell pepper is diced, but in big chunks, so I need to just cut it smaller.
Okay. I'm gonna go really fast because everyone's
Oh,
hungry.
I'm good. I'm good. But yeah,
Yeah.
we grew so 2 summers ago, we grew like a whole bunch of bell pepper plants and got almost nothing at the end of summer.
Yeah.
But this last summer, like we doubled the amount of bell pepper plants we had, and all the plants had like 3 times as many peppers as the first year. So I'm overrun with peppers. I've got 4 big giant Ziploc bags of frozen peppers.
Well, the next recipe will just have to have peppers too. Oh no, we said
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. You got any Brussels sprouts recipe?
Uh, Honestly, the best Brussels sprouts are basically Brussels sprouts, just a little spritz of oil, and then if you can find it, A&W seasoning. If you can't, I've got just some seasoning salt or seasoned
Mhm.
salt.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Mm. Well, someday I'll get to have yours. I'm convinced. One day. I don't know when. Someday. All right. So I always say this every time we cut peppers on this podcast. I really love the way peppers smell. Like they smell, mine
Yeah,
are really, do yours have a smell because they were frozen or no? They still smell like peppers or does the smell go
yep.
away?
They smell
Nice.
like very cold peppers.
All right. Hold on a second. Let's do this. I don't know if I ever told you. When I was super young, I had a job at Subway. Did I ever tell you this story?
I don't think so.
I don't feel like I did. Well, like when I was younger, I was embarrassed by it. Now I'm not embarrassed by it, but I was supposed to be 18 apparently, and I was
Mhm.
not 18. I was only 16. But so the manager hired me. I don't because things were different then. We didn't have like the internet
Yeah.
applications, they were just paper applications. So somebody just missed it and hired me. But anyway, I only worked there for one day until they found out that I wasn't 18. But yeah, so they taught me how to cut a pepper, and it's like something that's one thing that stayed with me because no one else ever showed me how to cut a pepper. So it was one
Mhm.
thing that I learned from that job. But I find that to be like kind of interesting that an experience that was so quick and so short, like that
Yeah.
one skill that I learned stayed with me for my whole life.
Mhm.
Yeah, interesting to me at least.
Yeah. No, I think that's interesting. I don't think I've had any experiences like that with work. that
Yeah.
have stuck with me, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Maybe. Well, you
But
probably, yeah, no,
for
I don't know. I was trying to think if maybe you learned how to deal with people. Probably. I don't know. You're pretty good at dealing with people. Did you learn that at work or no?
maybe, I'm not sure.
Well, I learned it at
Uh,
work. My mom sure didn't teach me how to deal with people. I could tell you that. An Italian woman did not teach me the right way to do that because
mhm.
the way I was taught was that everybody just does whatever I say and questions nothing. So
Okay,
maybe she taught me right, actually. I don't know.
perhaps, depends on your point of view.
Yeah, well, my earbud just fell into the peppers.
Oh,
I told you before these earbuds, these little ones, whenever we wear these out here, I told you I think my ear holes are crooked or something.
mhm.
Oh, you know what it is? I have the wrong one in the wrong ear.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if I've done that before. I wonder if that's been the problem this whole time. It's been putting the wrong ones in. Oh well, whatever. It's fixed now. All right, so there we go. So it says, what does it say? Finely diced? Come on, I can't finely dice them though. How fine are you dicing? Like
Um,
for real. Like for real, for real.
pretty fine.
What do you
Like,
mean? Show me one. Oh, okay, wait. Well, how can we? Here's the deal. Is mine? Hold on. Is that
yeah,
like
maybe.
that?
I don't know.
Well,
Whoopsie,
I
now I'm
don't know
getting peppers all
either.
over my keyboard.
I can't tell. We're holding them up to the computer like anybody can tell. Ask the cat if it's fine. Okay, and then we need a quarter cup
Oh,
of onion finely diced again.
I'm still
No, you're
chopping.
fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It's gonna take me way longer to do the onion because I need to use the onion chopper, and we all know that I don't know how to do that. So, and I don't know where it is. So there's that. Does chopping onions not bother you? Are you like immune to it or does it burn your eyes at
Oh,
all?
no, it burns my eyes, and I find the onions that we grow tend to be extra potent.
Oh
So when
yeah.
I'm doing something that needs like 4 or 5 onions, I am sobbing. My nose is running all
Oh
over the place. I can't see anymore. Yeah.
my gosh. So I am going to dice it the old fashioned way and I may end up crying, but that will be the second time today that I end up crying. Thanks
Uh-oh.
to no, those were happy tears, remember? Those are happy
Okay,
tears
that's
from
true.
my first review as an author came in today
Hmm.
from Rod Lajano of Bookstagrammer, who is just amazing. And hopefully we're going to have him on the podcast soon. But he gave me a 5-star
Hmm.
review and said the nicest stuff, and it made me so happy. So, yes, I will be crying again from this. And you and I are going to be
Awesome.
release buddies this year, right? Well, you already know. So, you already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so I wrote a book. I haven't written much in the last few years, but during my 2 week vacation from my day job, you and I did writing sprints every single day. And that gave me
Yeah.
the motivation and the energy and the enthusiasm. And I wrote at least 30,000 words in a little under
Yeah.
2 weeks. And so now I
Yeah.
have a queer paranormal horror young adult romance book coming out. Haven't picked a date yet, but probably in late June.
Yes. And your Bessie is going to handle all your stuff for you and take care of it.
Hmm.
We're going to make sure we get lots of people reading that book. And I know there's already people that have reached out and said they would be interested in reading it after we posted that graphic the other day. So I
Cool.
think it's going to be great. And I got to be the first person to read that book, which was a
Hmm.
great honor, which I will be forever grateful for. And it was great. And I love that book. And I actually already just want the spinoff because there's some characters
Hmm.
in there that I really want more from because it was just so well told. And I think we talked about this before, Craig, but I don't know if I've said it on the podcast before, but I think that what I love about your writing is just your ability to scene build and to
Hmm.
transport a reader into a scene without them knowing they're being taken there. Because I think
Okay.
that a lot of writers, when they're writing, like there's a lot of scene building and just a lot of looking around and noticing things. And yours is just so fluid that you don't really realize that you're setting the stage for the characters. And at any given moment, I always knew what it was like, where I was, what the environment was like. And I never got bogged down with the details of the scene, like the scenery outside. And that's something that I love about the way that you write.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And I'm looking forward to having Rod on the podcast so Rod can talk about my book because, I mean, you have written a ton of books, so you've gotten lots of great praise over the years for your books. And also, I praise you on a pretty consistent basis. I think everybody knows that listens to the podcast.
Probably, yeah.
But if you don't know, Craig gets praised all the time, constantly. And Cali gets praised too, though. But for my book, Rod is the first person that's not related to me and didn't really know me that read my book. So it's different, you know, it was a really cool experience to have someone connect with the characters the way that he did, you know? So I'm sure most authors feel that way.
Yeah, and those reviews are sometimes more meaningful because it's not someone that, you know, it's not like a family member that loves anything you do. This is someone that could have potentially not liked it, but they absolutely loved it.
And it's, you know, it's interesting too, because like, I'm like thrilled beyond all measure that he loved the book. And the review that he gave me was just like, it couldn't have been any better. I mean, I told you earlier today, my husband was like, we'll do whatever he wants. Like, what does Rod want? What does he want us to buy him? We'll buy him whatever he wants. And I'm like, no, but like as a thank you gift, because, you know, like as my partner, I mean, you know, our partners watch us go through these things like writing and like you've been doing it for a really long time, but for me, like my husband like sat there and watched me. There were days where I was crying because I didn't think it was good enough. And there were days when I submitted and, you know, just a lot of emotion. So I know for him, it was really, he's really just super grateful that Rod loved the characters and then not only loved them, but took the time to articulate it in a review, you know, because sometimes people really like books and they, you know, they don't really go on and leave a review, and good reviews are just so important to us as authors.
Yeah, I have to confess, I'm one of those people that rarely leaves a review.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
no matter how much I love it, I'm not much of a review person.
Well,
even though I know how important they are.
Yeah, I think the difficulty for us with that though is that we both work for I mean, you own the publishing house and I work for the publishing house. So I'm always cautious about the reviews that I leave because I don't ever want someone to devalue my words based on my position at the company. So like for you, your books, I liked your books, you know, I think I was signed. Yeah, I think I was signed with you when I read Gay Love and Other Fairy Tales. Was it? Oh no, I read Drag Queens first because that was my first book. Because when I met you, I asked you which one your favorite was. Oh no, I asked you which one you were the most. I asked you which one the one you were most proud of was. Yeah. And it was that one. So I read that one first. But yeah, and so like that book, I want to leave a review, but at the same time, I don't want someone to look at it and say, oh, she just left this review because they're best friends or because she works for him or something, you know? So I'm always pretty cautious about that. Okay. So I have the onions and the peppers. What else do I need?
So next on the list is.
Did you do your onions?
Yeah, I did. We skipped the breadcrumbs. We need a third of a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. I just have regular, so I'm going to toss in some Italian seasoning.
Oh, I have both. But then we need Italian seasoning too?
We do. So I'll just toss in a little bit since there's more going in. Okay,
so 1/3 a cup of breadcrumbs we need. That's nice and easy. Oh, but this will be exciting. Now we'll both have releases on the same year.
Yeah.
And then if we're really lucky, and your bestie pushes you like she did with your other book, we might even get to have 2 releases coming out from both of us this year.
True, because now I've started working on the sequel to Frankenstein Builds a Boyfriend, and that's one that was already a third to a quarter written. And that's one that was already like a quarter to a third written, so I'm not starting from scratch. I'm picking up where I left off, which means it'll hopefully, fingers crossed, be pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, we have our weekly sprints, but I might We may amp those up. I only didn't do it
Yeah.
this week because you were just getting back into the manuscript, but I might amp those back up so we can
Yeah.
hit them in the afternoon. We also got lucky because you were on vacation, so which vacation is not the same. But I did have a lot of writers reach out, and I would really like urge other writers that are listening to this to reach out to their peers. I mean, I wouldn't say like us because we have like crazy schedules, so we would say no, but like other writers, I would recommend that they reach out to other writers because a lot of writers asked me about writing sprints. Like,
Yep.
and said that they wish that they had other writers to write with, and they're out there.
Yep.
There's a lot. Okay. And then what do we need? Did it say the parsley is now?
No, now it's 2 tablespoons milk. So I'm gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm surprised Shiger isn't here because he loves butter.
Oh my gosh, it reminds me of that guy, that video you sent me with that guy that was eating the butter. Oh my gosh, it was so disgusting. I hated that so much.
Oh, there's Shiger wanting some butter.
Well, you just called him. It's not his fault. You basically just called him over, right? So how can we blame him? Uh-huh.
I'll give him a bit of butter. Here you go.
So I got the milk in, and then we need, did you get your butter or it's still melting?
It's going right now.
Like a favorite cheese?
Oh, yeah. So we really
I love
like
cheese.
in this house.
Me too.
Every once in a while, we will just buy some crackers and some nice cheese and maybe get a bottle of wine, and that's what we have while we watch a movie. So
Yeah.
the grocery store by here, I think it's a way of getting rid of cheese that's like close to expiring.
Yeah.
They have these like trays with 3 different cheeses on them that you can buy for like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of things. I tend to like harder cheeses, like I like aged
Yeah.
cheddars, things
Yeah.
like that. But I do like softer cheeses as well.
Yeah, I always buy these little Land O'Lakes cheeses. They're like the little snack size cheeses. I love those.
Yep.
You guys have those in Canada too? They're little tiny rectangles.
Maybe.
Here, I'm gonna show you. I'll show you. Hold on. They look like this. Oh, it's upside down.
So I've seen those. So they exist, but I don't think they're that common.
Oh man. I usually have those as like a little snack. But yeah, I love cheese. Like I don't even know if I could pick my favorite cheese, to be honest. There's so many. All right. So you did your butter. Are you on to Parmesan now or no?
Yep. Yep. So it's what, 2 tablespoons?
Yeah. 2 tablespoons. Oh my gosh, the lady at this. Oh, this is grated. Did I get grated? I did, right? Yeah, okay. There's a lady who was in the deli who was complaining about the cheeses while I was there, and she was complaining so loud. I'm like, I don't know if it's the same in Canada, but like whenever it's a holiday, the stores are crazy here. Like, I'm sure it probably is the same, no? It's busy?
It is, but I always go first thing in the morning, usually on a Sunday morning. And here in the province of Manitoba, like we've had Sunday morning shopping for years now. But I remember the day when you couldn't go shopping on a Sunday morning because that was church time, so everything was closed. And so even though things are open Sunday morning now, people don't go out Sunday morning. So that's when I go out.
Yeah, that's a smart thing. All right, so and then it's the parsley. Where does the egg come in? Oh God, garlic too. This is a lot of ingredients, bestie.
It is. It better be good.
I know. Well, it better be is right. Okay, so I bought the already minced garlic because I didn't feel like cutting it.
Okay, I've got some of that in the fridge. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just putting in some parsley. This is dried parsley from our garden from last year.
Yay! You guys are so cool.
How much garlic? 1 clove.
So, and then 1 clove of this is 1 teaspoon for me. I don't know what yours is. I don't know if your measurement is the same or not.
Probably the same. I just throw in a big glob because, I mean, who doesn't love garlic?
Well, I love garlic. I just have a sensitivity to it as an adult, which is super fun as an Italian too, to have a garlic sensitivity is super fun. Because like 90% of the stuff I cook has garlic in it. So it's cool. It's like, how bad will the headache be today? Let's play a game.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. So this is 1 teaspoon or a tablespoon? What did it say? Oh crap. Hold on. A
I didn't
teaspoon.
even
Okay.
measure it. I just went 2 big scoops. That looks good.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not gonna do that. I'll be in the hospital if I have that much. I'll be crying. And then you know what? You won't have anyone to play with you tonight. All night. All right. Well, that sounded bad saying you don't have anyone to play with you. And then we need 1 egg yolk, right?
We also need
Oh
Italian
shit.
seasoning. Oh, yeah, egg yolk
Rick,
first.
it needs a yolk though. I have to okay, hold on.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can. I just was getting ready to crack it in there. All right, so there's that. Flop. All right. Oh, and you know what? I told myself that I was not going to record over by the sink. So hopefully I haven't done that today because yeah, then I always have to end up cutting that out. All right, and then we need, like you said, half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Hey, for parsley that's fresh, can I save it? I don't really think I have anything I'll use it for, but it can fresh parsley, like we can freeze it or just throw it away?
I don't know if you can, quote unquote. I would. I'd just throw it in a little Ziploc bag. I think if you want to store it in the fridge for a while, you put it like in a damp paper towel, but that requires using it in a couple of weeks, which I don't use parsley that often.
No, I don't. Okay. And then salt and pepper too, right?
Half teaspoon. I'm a step behind you because I got distracted by a cat that keeps investigating.
That's okay. Usually I'm behind you, so it's okay. It's fine.
Ooh,
Where
I think
is that?
I have, so people seem to get me special salts for like gifts.
Ooh, yeah.
So I'm gonna use a juniper smoked sea salt. So it's gonna have a bit of a smoky flavor
Ooh, fun.
that should be nice in
That
the meatloaf.
sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds really fun. Where the heck? Oh, there it is. You know, I was telling you earlier, I was asking if you had ever had your cabinets painted, but when the cabinets get painted, it's crazy because like they like close the whole kitchen off. So it looked like you ever see like the scenes in the movie where like they quarantine like areas, so it's like
Oh
big
yeah, yeah.
and stuff. That was what my kitchen was like, the whole thing. And there were just like 20 workers in here for like 2 to 3 days. It was crazy. But it's incredibly uncomfortable to have people in your house for that long.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that. But they did a good job. 1/4 of a teaspoon, right, Bestie?
Yep. Oh,
One.
sorry, what?
We need a
Oh,
1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper.
I just assumed it was salt and pepper to taste, so I just did whatever.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't follow recipes that well.
All right, there we go. That's in there. Is that it? Now we need to mix it, right?
Yes. Yeah, so the recipe says put it into 2 small meatloaves, but we're gonna put it into 1, I think, because it sounds like in the
Yeah,
comments, some people did 1 and it was fine.
yeah,
I don't know
we're
if
gonna
they
do that.
adjusted, I don't know if they adjusted cooking time though. I hope they didn't. Hey,
Um, we could always check it. You know what I mean? We just open it and check it. I'll
yeah,
check mine.
hang
I
on.
don't care.
I've got it right here.
And then I'm gonna mix the meatloaf. I'm gonna use my hands. I don't know
I
about
will
you.
too, but after
Yeah,
I check the comments here.
yeah.
All right,
Ugh.
yeah. One comment says you can use ground up Captain Crunch cereal instead of breadcrumbs.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. So gross. I mean, we shouldn't judge it, right? But it sounds
Mhm.
gross. Like,
Yeah,
because who
yeah.
knows? There's times where we say things sound gross, and then I'm pretty sure my peppers are too big, to be honest, because mine looks real peppery, and theirs did not. Like the meatloaves that we saw, I didn't see any
Mhm.
peppers. So,
So the comment where they did 1 meatloaf, they didn't say anything about adjusting the time.
okay.
Um,
Should I be preheating it now, you think?
Perhaps. What are we
Let's
cooking
do
it
that.
at? 350.
350. There you go. And if all else fails, I will just order pizza for dinner.
Yep.
If this is
That always
inedible,
works.
that will happen. I think that pizza is probably the thing. Like, I know it's bad for you, but I'm wondering if, like, if I had to survive, like, I think chicken is my favorite meat. Like, if I had to have like one meat, I would pick chicken.
Hmm.
What would you pick if you could only have one meat forever?
Probably chicken as well. So
Yeah.
we eat chicken a few times a week. I
Yeah.
don't cook with beef very often, very rarely
Yeah.
with pork.
Yeah. And then if I had to pick like one food, like if it was like not meat, I think I could probably eat pizza because there's a bunch of different ways to make pizza. So I think I could
Yep.
maybe just eat pizza every day. I don't know, probably not. But if I had to, is there anything you think you could eat every day and not get tired of it?
Um, this is gonna sound bad of me, but McDonald's.
Probably McDonald's. Yeah, you do love McDonald's. It's true.
Hmm.
They should sponsor
Yeah.
you.
John doesn't really care for McDonald's, so when we have a
Yeah.
takeout night, it's never McDonald's. Whenever he's out of town and
Yes.
I have to cook for myself, I just put myself in the car and go to McDonald's. There's one real close.
This is a true story, and I know this because every time he's gone, that's what you get. You're like, okay, I'm going to McDonald's.
Yep.
McDonald's and Star Trek, McDonald's and
Yep.
Futurama. That's how it goes. This is you use a pound of meat, right, buddy?
Yeah, this is big, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But let me ask you a question. Are yours like, are you seeing the peppers pretty big in there? They're pretty chunky?
Yeah, and I'm seeing the onions really chunky too.
Me
I don't know if I can
too.
hold this without dumping it over, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, mine looks like that. Yeah, like, hold on. I'm so
Oh
short.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For listeners at home, I am 5'3", and so if that's not short to you, then I don't know what to say. Because I was just telling Craig I can't even reach like the second shelf in the cabinets in my house without being on my tippy toes. Ah. So I just had to get on my tippy toes to show him on the camera, but it's just because my camera's raised right now. All right, I think mine is pretty mixed.
I think so too.
And then, so I'm going to wash my hands and then I am going to spray. I put foil inside mine. I don't know if you put foil in yours. You should put foil in yours.
I have not done that yet. I think what made me hesitate is a friend of mine was saying that for his air fryer, the nonstick layer on the inside is starting to come off. And I don't know if it's because the foil might scratch it. And so like my hesitation is like, this is a brand new air fryer. I don't want to scratch anything.
Great, I'll just buy you a new one. I'll just buy you a new one if that one's for. Hold on, but I think it has a warranty. I'm sure there's a warranty so that if the sticky stuff was coming off, I'm sure there's a warranty.
Oh yeah, probably.
It was not, it's a Ninja air fryer. I'm pretty sure Ninja has a pretty good. But you gotta do what you're comfortable with. So if you're afraid, then don't do it. I'm happy that you like it so much so you don't want it to get ruined. That makes me happy. But yeah, for me, I want to not have to clean up the disgusting mess. So I'm using foil for sure.
I think I've mentioned on a previous cooking episode that my husband does all the dishes.
Yes. We love it.
I mean, I don't want to like, I don't want to take advantage of that, but if it means I don't line the thing with foil, it still gets clean.
Well, I would like to say that usually my husband and I do the like whoever's cooking doesn't have to clean, but my husband honestly does a lot sometimes. So sometimes he'll cook and clean, but like usually I will go into diva mode and just be like, yeah, no, I cooked. I'm not gonna clean.
That is basically how it works here too, because like John prefers that I cook. So I do like 95% of the cooking and he does about 95% of the cleaning. So it works out.
It does work out. Oh,
the preheating has stopped.
So mine is preheated. And then we're going to add the topping. Oh.
I think the topping gets added like it cooks. And then you add the topping after it cooks and you cook it a little longer.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, hey, look at this. This is great. Hold on 1 second. So it's going to cook for 20 minutes and then we're going to add the topping.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
Right.
Okay. So I have 6 minutes left, and how much time do you have left?
I have 4.
Okay, because Craig got his in a little bit before I got mine in.
I'm quick with my meat.
I told you I was going to try not to. And for listeners at home, we paused this for a few minutes so that way you wouldn't listen to 15 minutes of us talking, which makes no sense because you are listening to us talking.
That's the whole reason they listen. Yeah.
The whole you're listening, but I did pause it. And the jokes got dirty as soon as we unpaused. And I told Craig we were going to try to not do it, and I guess it can't be helped. So what do I need to do next for the sauce?
It's a 1/4 cup of tomato sauce and a 1/4 cup of chili sauce mixed together. For myself, I'm using my homemade pasta sauce, but it's basically tomato sauce with the same seasoning that's in meatloaf.
Huh. That's cool. That's a cool idea. You said 1/2 cup of both, right?
1/4 cup, 1/4 cup.
Of both.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I have the weakest wrist in the world. Is that a sign of some sort of deficiency?
I have no idea.
Because like this is like so fucking hard for me to turn this can opener on this thing. My God. I'm gonna ask my husband to do it. I don't think I can do it. Hold on, it's almost done. Can like almost kind of get it. Oh, come on. Hold on. Okay. I got it. Okay. It's open. The can is open. All right, there we go. 1/4 cup. Okay. I'm nervous about this sauce. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just sounds like it's either gonna be
Well,
really good or really bad.
Yeah, well, you are mixing together the wrong type of chili sauce.
Well, should I not?
I mean, I think
We don't really know.
It's that we don't really know. I'm just assuming it's one that smells like chili, like the food chili.
Yeah. You know what? I think you're right. That's spicy. This is gonna be
Yeah, oh yeah, sriracha is quite, I think this is spicy too, but probably not to the level of sriracha.
Okay. Well, gonna be spicy. I actually wouldn't care if it was spicy. I just don't want it to be dry.
Yeah.
I would like not like a dry meatloaf. Okay. What is the next thing? Then what do we gotta do? Oh, we need to put the mashed potatoes and stuff in, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Or not yet?
I was gonna do it once we put the meatloaf back in, because
Oh, we have to take the meatloaf out and put it back in?
yeah, it cooks for another 5 to 7 minutes, and then you're supposed to let it rest 5 minutes before serving.
Oh, well, then that's when I'll put the mashed potatoes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. That makes like a lot more sense, actually. But as far as the sauce, is there anything else that needs to be done or no?
I don't think so. Just mix the two and put it on top.
Well, that's super easy. One second. Quarterly.
Oh, it's snowing again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
not much. Okay, mine is I'll
well, mine is not done. But how do they look?
they look like 2 giant testicles.
Yours made into balls? They're not looking like loaves? Take a picture. Oh yeah, yours look like big balls. Take a picture of those big meatballs, those big juicy balls. Those balls do look kind of greasy though.
The next time a cute guy asks for a pic, I'll say, "You want to see my balls?" And I'll send this.
Oh my God. Oh, all right, hold on. I got mixed reviews about my girls, not my girls, my boys' pictures.
Mhm.
Half the people said they thought Cooper was the cutest, and half people said they thought Ethan was the cutest.
Okay.
And you are the minority because you think Luke, right?
Oh yeah, I'm Luke all the way. I'd do him.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, mine kind of. Yeah. No, mine. Oh God. Okay. I don't understand. Even when we do something wrong, yours still looks better. I'm gonna take a picture of them. Hold on.
And now it goes 5 to 7 minutes. I'm gonna do 7 minutes, I think.
Wait, aren't we supposed to? So we're supposed to put the sauce on, right?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, God, I can't. Okay.
I'll put it for 6 minutes in between 5 and 7.
All right. How much sauce did you put on here? This is way too much sauce.
I put the whole thing on. Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. I don't know about that. I think. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. You did it. So that's the thing, right? If your friend jumped off a bridge, sure.
Well, for me, since mine is on the rack, like that excess sauce is just gonna fall below. But for yours, since you've got it in the foil, like you'll get all that like concentrated sauce at the base of your meatloaf. You'll have very saucy meat.
No, we already talked about that. I'd rather have a saucy. Yeah, I should have put mine on the rack. That would have made probably more sense, to be honest. But I was worried about it drying out that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will. Let's move these guys over here, and I am going to be done in 2 seconds. Oh, they look so weird. Why'd they shrink so much?
I don't know.
All right, let me put them back. How long is this one? 6 minutes, you said?
5 to 7 minutes. I put it for 6.
Okay, I did 6. That's what I did, for 6. Okay, 6 minutes is in. You have potatoes that you already like pre-made, or they're just cut. I don't remember what you told me.
Yeah, my potatoes are mashed potatoes, also garden potatoes that we froze. And I'm also throwing a jar of garden peas on the stove as well.
You have peas and I have green beans because
Okay,
I love green beans so much.
Yeah, we used to grow them, but like John and I both don't really care for green beans, so we
Oh yeah?
stopped growing them.
Yeah.
One of those things
Even
everybody says, "Oh, grow beans, grow beans." It's like, well, we don't really like beans, but
well, if you
sure.
don't like it, yeah, if you don't like it, I don't know why you would grow it. But then again, what was the thing? It was the wine that the people gave you the honeydew melon that you guys planted and you
Oh
grew
yeah, yeah.
that. But that was just, and then you guys made that into the wine that we talked about before. That was just terrible.
Yeah, my mom thought it was okay, but my mom likes honeydew melon, so it's clearly
Yeah,
if you like it, then the wine is okay. It's very sweet.
yeah,
Very
yeah. I like a sweet wine though, so I don't think I would mind that too much. But the way that you described it makes me never, ever, ever want to drink it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you described it to me way too many times and said it was just awful. So, I don't think I want to try that. But initially, I wanted to try it before you described it. And this is 3 minutes, and then we're supposed to let it rest too, right?
Yeah, let it rest for 5 minutes.
Well, it's not. Mine's not done yet. Is yours done?
I have another 2.5 minutes.
Oh, you know what? I want to tell you, when I was at the store today, I was talking to the bagger because I always try and talk to people whenever I'm out. I love talking to people, I guess. I don't know. And he looked like he was having a bad day. So whenever I see someone like that, I always try and make their day a little better, which I probably just annoy them even more, to be honest. But anyway, he was telling me that he has like 5 stories that he started writing and got writer's block on all 5.
Oh,
and
yeah.
couldn't finish them. Then I was like, oh, okay. Um, and so he was asking me like, he was like, well, what do you do? Because I told you I started talking to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what do you do when you have writer's block? But for me, I haven't had to deal with that yet. And I know that I will. But so that, like I told him, I'm a new writer, so I hadn't had to deal with that yet. But um I don't know the advice for that. I would think that you would just put it down and take a break from it, but not want to give it up. I mean, like the best thing I could think of, and again, I'm speaking from ignorance because I don't really know, um, would be to try and find what inspired you to write the story anyway, and maybe try to reconnect to that. That was the only thing I
Yeah.
could think of.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Personally, I find as soon as I hit a bit of writer's block or like a lack of enthusiasm in writing, I just switch to a different story. And so I usually
Yeah.
have two or three or four things going on at once, which does sort of slow down the process because I'm working on four things at once. But
Yeah.
at least I'm not sort of sitting there staring into space, uh, just lacking enthusiasm. Because if I can get enthusiasm for something else, I'd rather be writing that.
Yeah. No, I agree. So he said that, and then I was asking him about a little bit about the stories, and he said, well, I know that they're good. He said, because my best friend told me they were. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, well, as long as your best friend is honest with you, then sure. And he was like, oh, she's super honest. He said she wouldn't sugarcoat it for me. She told me that all five are good. And I was like, oh, okay, because like I just read my best friend's manuscript, and like I've told you, you make like no mistakes. And even in a case where like there was a word that like I don't know if it was he instead of the, which again your manuscript was like perfection. Like even just that, I was like had a little heart next to it, and I'm like, I think you mean this, like a little
Yeah.
heart. All my suggestions for Craig have like little hearts on them because I can be honest, but I can't be like some editors that are just they take the emotion right out of it. I think I lack that. I don't think I'd be good at that.
That's also not a bad thing because there are, and I don't mean this to sound bad about authors either, but there are some authors that struggle with critical feedback about their work. And so having an editor that uh keeps the author's like emotions in mind can make a big difference
Yeah.
for some authors.
Yeah, well, that's why, and I've been getting to take a look at some stuff, but that's why I like looking at the submissions and like listening and talking them over. That's really fun. I really do enjoy that. But yeah, I wouldn't like to be the one that was like, you need to cut this part. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I would be good at that. I could tell you if it didn't belong. Like, and you and I read, we also read together every night. So I
Yeah.
know that we see things the same way when we're going over things, but I don't think I would be good at that, telling an author that they need to cut. Like, because for my book, we cut the first two chapters, and
Yeah.
that was easy. That was easy for you to tell me because as soon as I handed you the manuscript, I said the first two chapters are garbage. So that wasn't really hard for you to tell me because you were like, yeah, it's not. It was just a lot of, unnecessary unnecessary character building, which I guess I didn't need. I mean, I guess we'll see when I get more reviews. They might say I needed it. But for now, I didn't need it. But I don't think I would be good at that.
Yeah, yeah. And it's something that developed over time because I used to be very hesitant. I'd add smiley faces all the time or add like dot 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 at the end of each comment, like I wasn't sure about what I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I only said that like one time to you, or one or two times. I was like, you could maybe, probably, possibly say this instead of this, but this sounds good too. So, you're a better writer than me, so whatever you want. And then there was like probably like 5 hearts after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I care so much about other people's feelings. And yeah, you are an extreme case. So, but But what's good for you is to have me look at your stuff because you know that I would tell you if it didn't make sense. And I would tell you if
Yes.
it wasn't flowing, then I don't have a problem doing that. But yeah,
Hmm.
telling someone that something they wrote is really unnecessary, that's where I would have a problem. Because like
Yeah.
some part of their creativity wanted that, and then I'm like, your creativity is stupid. You don't know what you're doing. Like, I would feel bad. I couldn't do that. And we wouldn't say that, obviously.
No.
All right, my meatloaf just beat.
Yep.
So are you leaving it in the air fryer or taking it out while it rests?
I was leaving it in, but should it come out? I don't know. Last time I
Well, it's
made
already,
meatloaf was grade 7.
I know. I'm gonna take mine out because it's already 350 degrees in there. So technically
That's true.
it's like cookies, so like it'd still be cooking, but I am gonna cut into it. I'm sorry, because I want to make sure it's not raw inside or something.
I guess I should do that too.
Just a little tiny one, because it's still gonna cook more while it's sitting. But I just did a tiny little cut to make sure. Yeah, they just do not look appetizing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not think they look yummy.
They are fully cooked. Mine are fully cooked.
Yeah, mine are fully cooked. Guess I'll take a picture of them. I'm not good at taking pictures of food, I find.
Yeah, it seems to be like a skill.
Yeah, well, it's a skill that I definitely don't have, I can tell you that. I don't think it looks very good when I do it. And hopefully this whole podcast is okay on the recording because I was walking around a lot. Oh God, they look horrible. What do yours look like? They probably look great.
They look like testicles dipped in tomato sauce.
Oh, yours is red?
Hmm.
Oh, mine's not looking too red. But my kitchen light is like not on because it's so bright. So maybe when I take the picture, I don't know. Ugh, no, they don't look red. And I don't want my feet in the picture. Ugh,
That's a
this is
me
like
thing. I'll have my feet in the picture.
no, you're not having your feet in the picture. The never-ending feet argument. For listeners at home, we do talk about this when we're not on the podcast. Greg consistently teases me about his feet. I don't know if mine look like testicles, to be honest. I don't think so. Hold your camera still. My camera just yelled at me to hold it still. I'm trying. I don't understand why I'm being yelled at by a camera. All right, so here's this. Let's take another picture because it does not. Oh God, Craig. Why must I embarrass myself this way? Whose dumb idea was this?
I
To
don't know.
embarrass themselves by making meatloaf. All right, hold on. Let me put it like that. All right. There we go. I'm gonna put it in chat so you can see. Oh God. All right, there we go. Cameron D. James. Sent. There's the meatloaf. All right, kiddo.
Here's
Meatloaf
mine.
cheese. Let me see it. Probably perfect. Looks like the picture. Let's see it.
It's very slow loading.
Yeah, it is. It says you're typing. Oh, oh my God. Oh, well, you used all the sauce.
Yeah, I did.
But you know what's funny is like, remember you said mine was going to be like soaked in sauce and mine's not.
Hmm.
Interesting, right? Two
Hmm.
totally different
Hmm.
looking results. Okay. And now it's time for coffee with Callie and Craig. That was delicious.
I was not expecting that. That was
No,
really good.
I cannot believe how good that was. That
Yeah.
was the I mean, mine was like it was like flavorful, and I don't know if it was because of the sriracha, Craig, but well, I assume it was because of the sriracha because there was a little spice, but mine was super flavorful.
Hmm. Yeah, same here. And like my husband wants me to make it next time we have a family dinner with my mom. And so like that must mean it's really good because I make all sorts of stuff, but he wants me to make meatloaf.
Yeah, this was a hit in our house too. Yeah, my husband really liked it, and to be honest, we didn't have such high expectations, you and I. The
Mhm.
bar was pretty low for this
It
meatloaf.
was. Yes, it was.
But you and John, like for serving size, you guys ate just one loaf, right?
Yes.
But
Yes. So we
yours
ate half the
was,
recipe.
yeah, but see, you did it smarter than I did because you originally had it in one loaf and then you split it into two.
Mhm.
Whereas I had two loaves, so they were uneven. So my
Oh,
loaves were not
okay.
the same size. But yeah, they were absolutely delicious. I will definitely make that again.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Well, you for sure,
Hmm.
because everyone's going to be coming back from vacation soon, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be making a family dinner pretty soon, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, next, the next episode we're going to have Rod Luhano on.
We are, yes.
Yes, I am super excited, obviously. And this
Hmm.
was for listeners at home, this is the day after because we always try and record our coffee with Callie and Craig the next day. So again, you don't have to hear us eating our food. And we didn't
Hmm.
want our meatloaf to get cold, especially. But after the podcast yesterday, I got to meet with Rod, and Craig and I decided it would be super fun to have him on the podcast. And he's really looking forward to it too. And so are we. So I think that's it for
Yeah,
us. Yeah,
that sounds
that's
like it.
it,
But we
right?
have to finish with a final thought, right?
Yeah, I think I did the last final thought for cooking last
Okay.
time.
Oh, darn.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm
So
pretty sure.
final thought is go make a meatloaf recipe. I
Mhm.
don't know. That's what this episode was about. Go make a meatloaf
It was,
recipe.
yeah. Go
Mhm.
make some meat. Go play with the meat. Go play with meat,
Yep.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Get satisfied with some meat.
hmm Lots of meat.
Hmm.
Oh God. Okay. We have to do
And
this. So.
then we got to finish up with where people can follow us, right?
hmm
So I believe I always doubt myself every single time, but it's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and Threads, and YouTube, Cali Craig Talk.
Awesome. Yeah. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
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 Bye. Nice. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.